This is my Mclaren 720S. I've owned it for just over 3 years. And today I'm going to break down exactly what it's cost me to run, maintain, modify and eventually sell this car. No rounding down, no hiding numbers, no pretending it was sensible. And at the end, I'll add it up properly. Back in 2022, I bought it from a Mclaren main dealer for £203,500. I put down a £50,000 deposit, then paid £1,600 per month for the next 3 years on a PCP. That's £57,600 just in PCP payments. So just to have the car on my driveway before even insured or drive it or fuel it or anything, I paid well over £100,000 and I still didn't own the car. That's just the finance side. Now let's get into the unavoidable costs over 3 years. Insurance £3,000, road tax £1,900, servicing £4,200, tracker subscription £600, and that's before anything breaks, before you upgrade anything, before you start enjoying it. Then there's general maintenance. I had to get some new tyres, £900. I had some stone chips on the PPF at the front, so I needed to get all that replaced and that cost £1,500. I had to get a windscreen replacement due to a massive rock chip and the insurance excess on that was £100. Then when it breaks, both door mechanisms failed, which would have been covered under warranty, but I'll come back to that later. That was a £2,500 bill. That's when you realise you're not running a car, you're managing a liability with butterfly doors. Optional, but not really, was 12,000 miles worth of fuel. That was 5,500 and I worked it out on 13 miles per gallon on average. That's what I thought it was, probably could have been less actually, but something tells me it's mocking me with that response. Exhaust and tune 8,800, over 900 horsepower, and I thought it was a good idea to ask ChatGPT about that decision as well, but I wish I'd not bothered. But I would do it again, probably not for power as it doesn't need any more, but for noise, yeah. Then there's my own mistakes. I got caught for speeding in France and had to fly home early because they confiscated the car for a week. Then I had to fly back, recover the car. All that process cost £1,500. Then driving in the UK without a number plate twice, £200. £1,700 in completely avoidable costs. That's on me. Extended warranty was £5,000 a year. Obviously 3 years would have been £15,000, but I declined it. And just before selling the car, I would have been £12,500 better off for not taking out the warranty. But I got hit with a load of repairs that flagged up on the health check, leaky suspension, leaky oil pump, all sorts of other minor things that added up to £11,000. But I still saved £1,500 by not taking out the warranty. But it was a massive gamble. And with cars like this, you're always gambling. So before I even talk about selling the car, here's what had left my bank account. £50,000 car deposit, finance payments £57,600, insurance £3,000, road tax £1,900, servicing £4,200, tracker £600, tyres £900, PPF £1,500, windscreen £100, door mechanisms £2,500, extra repairs £11,000, fuel £5,500, exhaust £8,800, fines £1,700. That's a grand total of £149,300. Now let's talk about getting out of this car. Online buyers were offering around £120,000, which wasn't really realistic, so I paid a Supercar dealer £5,000 on a sale or return to sell it properly. It sold pretty quick for £150,000. After dealer fees, I received £145,000. Outstanding finance was £120,000, so I walked away with £25,000 in cash. Now I can finally calculate it properly. The real cost. This Mclaren 720S cost me £124,300. That's £41,400 per year, £3,450 per month, over £10 a mile, or just over £12 per minute, cruising at 70 miles an hour. So when people ask me what a 720S stands for, it's not the horsepower, it's the hourly rate of ownership. Financially ridiculous, emotionally incredible, and somehow it's still the best car I've ever owned. So that's one car down, one car to go, because I'm about to try and sell my 6-year-old GR Yaris, knowing it's got a colourful history and been driven to within an inch of its life more than once, and wrapped to hide a multitude of problems. And today I'm handing it over to Webuyanycar to see if they notice, and more importantly, what kind of offer they'll actually give me. I've owned it for nearly 3 years, I've put around 6,000 miles on it, it's got a full main dealer service history and only 2 previous owners. It's never been raced or rallied. Well, that's not exactly true. but when is it ever? And it's never been in an accident. Well, that's not true either. But what is true, that it's not on the insurance company official database thing, you know, the one that says this has been in an accident. The interior is nice though, and the back seats don't even look like they've been used. And on paper, it looks like a fantastic example. Now, the current Auto Trader prices for one of these with under 10,000 miles is around £30,000, but once you factor in the accident history and the wrap to hide the fact that it needs paint underneath, surely the more realistic value is probably around 25k, which does hurt quite a bit, but it was my own fault. Now, normally you'd sell a car like this privately, but you know, dealing with messages at 2 AM saying, what's your best price, mate? People turning up wanting a test drive, but clearly just fancier going to GR Yaris. Or even worse, someone offering a swap for a jet ski and a Rolex that's definitely not real. And I'm also not in the position to part exchange it because I'm not replacing this with another car. So I'm putting the UK's most famous car buying service to the test, Webuyanycar. The idea is simple. You enter your registration online, get an instant valuation, book an appointment, they inspect the car and you accept their final offer. So I got offered just over £25,000 for this Yaris. Obviously they're going to knock me down because it's got a wrap. There's a couple of little issues like this and stone chips. This rear arch wasn't repaired very well by the body shop when it got fixed after the crash on Cadwell. And another little bubble on the wrap there, although, well, it doesn't have the original wheels and tyres on it, but the interior is immaculate, as you can see, and it's only done 8,533 miles. And the other non-standard thing is the Alcantara steering wheel, which I don't even think they'll pick up on, to be honest, because it looks pretty OEM. Tiny bit of scuff in there on the door cards, but it's not got the best history. Even though it's got full service history from Toyota, it's got a history. That's why I want to sell it to Webuyanycar like trade. And whatever happens, I'm going to take the price that they offer me today. Like I say, it's not going to be £25,000 or just over. It's going to be a few grand less, but today this car is going. And I have got a issue with a tyre. I think it's got a slow puncture. It's been sat in the garage for probably the best part of a year really, and it's pointless, isn't it? Pointless having a car sat in the garage if you're not going to use it. So I'm going to get rid of it and do something else with the money, like build a garage extension, which is pretty pointless because I don't have any cars left to put in the garage extension. If they offer me something really stupid, I'm probably going to have to think twice, you know, like 15 grand, something like that. But if it's in the 20s, yeah, it can go, because I think with the accident and obviously de-wrapping it, unwrapping it, it's going to need paint. So that's going to cost me maybe 3 grand to do. So yeah, I could get the car back into a really, really OEM condition, but it's going to cost me quite a lot of money. So I reckon if I can get around, I don't know, 22, 23, 22 maybe, and I've still got the original wheels in the garage, so I can get maybe £1 grand for them. So if you've never taken a car to Webuyanycar before, what you need is license and logbook in your name, same address as well. Service history, if possible, always helps. Going to keep the price high rather than super low like everybody seems to say about Webuyanycar. But I'm going to find, actually, I need to check to see if the service book is in there, which it is. And I have just noticed a really annoying rattle. I think it's coming from this door card. So that sealed it. I hate rattles. It's definitely going now. So literally 20 minutes I was in there, and Nick, the guy that's done all the paperwork, has only knocked it for the wrap and nothing else. But he didn't say anything about the steering wheel or the non-standard wheels, and the TPM-S was still on the dash, so they never said anything about that either. They checked the engine, which is obviously fine. Didn't say anything about that rear arch, which I thought they might have picked up on. So the grand total they knocked off was £2,500 and £125 admin fee. So basically all they did was knock me for the wrap. I could have paid £25 for next day money in the bank, but I thought I'm in no rush. And to add to that money, I've still got these original Yaris alloys, which I'll probably sell individually. Should be able to get about £300 for those each. These curb marks are not me. That was when I got the car, because it was an ex-demo. So all that should add up to about £24,000. So now both of those cars are gone. Next project is the garage extension, which, like I said before, there's no real point in getting it done because there's no cars left. But I'll tell you what's happening. This is going to be a big cutout, so you can drive through from the existing garage through to this bit, which is going to be all here. It's going to be 12 meters this way, which is going to come to around about these edging stones here. So it's going to be a fair size. It's only going to be 1 story, no room above like the garage there, and it's going to have some bifolds there, so I can get cars in that way and I can get cars through there. There's all the bricks ready to build. So I've got some blocks and some 65mm furnace bricks. But the only potential problem is, because we're on LPG, that's the gas tank, and that goes straight to the house there, goes in there, and that might have to get, well, the piping might have to get rerouted there, because obviously you've got the footings going to be going down there. So this is going to take about 2 months to do. As soon as this is done and see if I've got any money left, then I'm going to start buying a car or two. But when I said I've not got any cars in here, this isn't actually mine. I'm just offered to store it from my friend.